I'm Greg Armfield, 9-star, 3-time elite. But obviously I didn't start that way. I started with fitness and with weight loss, not nearly as much as she did, but I started because I went to the doctor when I turned 40 for that checkup that we all need to get. And he said, Greg, you're overweight, and you have high blood pressure, and you have high cholesterol, and your sugar's high, and I'm putting you on high blood pressure medicine, and you need to start working out and start eating healthy. So I was like, oh crap, And what led me to that point was I got fired from my job, or let go, however you want to say it, a year before that. Basically, new executives came in and said, no, we don't want these high-paid guys anymore, so they let me go. So that stress of finding a new job led to eating, not working out, working long hours. And that doctor visit was a wake-up call. And I saw a buddy of mine doing P90X, and I said, if he can do it, I can do it. So I started. It about killed me. But I ended up losing 45 pounds, and I started drinking Shakeology, and I went back to the doctor 6 months later, and he said, Greg, your transformation is amazing. He said, keep doing what you're doing. He said, I'm taking you off blood pressure medication. He said, all of your vitals, cholesterol, everything is back to normal. So, keep doing what you're doing. So then I was like, oh crap, now what am I gonna do? Because, how many of you all have been on diet programs and, you did something and then it came right back, right? Or exercise programs, went to the gym. So I decided I was gonna become a coach because, well, one, I wanted to save money on Shakeology, and two, I knew that if I had one person who was under me, that I would be accountable and I would stay accountable. So when my coach signed me up, he was telling me about all the millions of dollars I could make with Beachbody, and I was like, yeah. I told him, I said, don't expect anything out of me. And he stuck me on the inside leg under his wife.
Oh.
So, needless to say, that's now a strong leg. But, it started slow. I mean, I'm a slow and steady guy. So when I started 5 years ago as a coach, they didn't even have challenge packs. You had to sign up. If you wanted 2 Success Club points, you had to sign up a coach with Shakeology. So that was my goal. Always get 3 coaches, because that got me to SE5. Because my coach told me he was going on this cool trip to Atlantis in the Bahamas. And I was like, yeah, I want to go with you to that. So my goal was to hit SE5 every single month. So I did. And along the way, I signed up however many coaches that year, And then some of those coaches started to take off, And my goal wasn't ever to make money, like I said. I mean, when I started making money, I remember my first check was $37.50. But, eventually I started getting my supplements paid for, and my Shakeology paid for, and my workout programs paid for, and I'm like, this is cool, I'm getting my hobby paid for, dear, isn't that cool? And then I started getting my car payment paid for, and my house payment paid for. And, the thing that occurred to me is, a lot of coaches say, well, your why needs to make you cry, and if it doesn't, then you don't have a strong enough why. But I could tell you that my why has evolved, and I think most coaches' why has evolved. My original why was to lose weight, because and get healthy, because I lost both my grandparents, my grandfathers, to heart disease. I didn't even know my one grandfather, never met him, and I have teenage daughters who are not that far away from, getting married and having kids of their own, and I wanted to be around for that. So, that was my original why, to get in shape. And then my why changed to once I started making money at this business, I'm like, wow, this, my coach wasn't selling me, a bill of goods, that I really could make money at this. So then my why became, I want to save money so that I could send my daughters, who were teenagers, right, to college. So I would have a college savings fund, because I never had that. I mean, I worked, but my wife didn't work. So you guys who are in that situation know that, it's really hard to save money. So I had a little savings, but nothing near enough to pay for like weddings for 2 daughters and, college education for 2 daughters. So that was my goal. And, in like 4 years, I was able to save $100,000 because of Beachbody. Which is life-changing. And then I was able to retire from my full-time job. I did that last January. And now my why has changed, and now I want financial freedom. I want to be able to work when I want, where I want, have the retirement paid for and everything else. So it keeps changing, and I want to encourage you guys to stick with it. It was slow and steady. I mean, I worked the whole time up until last year. 50 hours a week in this traffic. 2-hour commute every single day, and I did it. So that's my story.
Awesome.